going a little off script, but I hope you understand that if a joke is foreign to your understanding or even what you define as humor, please laugh. When in doubt, always laugh.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Arman Hiranandani. Welcome to the 100 Days event. We kindly ask that you switch off all electronic devices. Thank you for joining us this evening, and can we get a cheer for the freshmen?
These 100 days have been inspirational, and I'd like to share with you all a few verses about the middle school nostalgia. I only wanted to have fun, learning to fly, learning to run. I let my heart decide the way in middle school.
Parents, I'm sure you can't believe that your child has completed 100 days of high school.
Deep down, I must have always known that this would be inevitable. To earn my stripes, I'd have to pay in sleepless nights.
That's great. That's great. Did you know that our graduation year is the year that the US inaugurates their next president?
I know I'm not the only one who regrets 8th grade that's gone. Sometimes I just feel it's only me who can't stand the reflection that I see. I wish I could turn the clock to past, look up to the sky, not just my map. I feel like my life is flashing by, and all I can do is watch and cry. I miss Lalonde and de Rosier. I miss my grades, I miss the A's. Life was a party to be thrown, but that was 100 days ago.
Now, we can participate in the ultimate class challenge. We're already off to a great start. As we begin, I would like to thank some people in this room. Thank you to our high school advisors and teachers who are here, and to our parents, and to the whole class for coming out tonight.
And a special thank you to Miss Martinez, Miss Baltes, Rajesh and Ibrahim in the tech booth, and all those who made this event possible.
We have a wonderful lineup for our program this evening, and a very special treat planned for you guys. We want to encourage everyone to sit back, relax, and know that this is your 100th day of high school. Now, we will hear from our superintendent, a truly wonderful man who started high school at ASD with us.
Please welcome the man himself, the superintendent that makes it all happen, the superhero of ASD, and the freshest of ASD superintendents, Dr. Richards.
Okay, you know, we have a kind of a running joke in admin, never follow students. But this is a new one, never follow students who have such beautiful voices. Wow. Well, maybe I'll sing this speech, but truth be told, I was counseled out in 8th grade of all the arts and music, so I'll just stick to the speech. But thank you, Bashar and Arman. Fantastic. That was truly unique and really special. So it's an honor to kind of kick off this event as the first speaker. You know, this is the symbolic start of high school for the 149 members of the class of 2021. It's a symbolic start, but of course, we know you've been working hard at school for several weeks now. And hard work is the secret to success at a place like the American School of Dubai. I'll say it again, the secret to success at this school and in your future professions is not natural talent or the right connections. Sure, these can help, but it won't carry you through to achieving your dream. Your dream's an important part of our mission, by the way. It's hard work, also called tenacity, grit, effort, persistence, determination, and perseverance. You get my point. But what is success anyways? For us at ASD, it's producing happy and healthy 35-year-olds. It's as simple as that. So tonight is a tradition formed back in 2012 and has continued ever since. So I'd like to welcome the class of 2021 and your parents and family who are here tonight. I'd also like to welcome the faculty and staff who will help caretake your journey through the high school in the next 4 years. The 100 Days In event is meant to be a celebration where we spend some time together and reflect where we are at this moment in time and this moment during this journey. It also has significance for me, as you heard. It's the first 100 days for me as superintendent. So I'd like to take the opportunity to share with you a story called How the Brazilian Beetles Got Their Coats. So bear with me here. How the Brazilian beetles got their coats. In Brazil, the beetles have such beautifully colored, hard-shelled coats upon their backs that they are sometimes set in pins and necklaces like precious stones. Once upon a time, years and years ago, they had an ordinary plain brown coats. This is how it happened that the Brazilian beetle earned its new coat. One day, a little brown beetle was crawling along a wall when a big gray rat ran out of the hole in the wall and looked down scornfully at the little beetle. "Oh," said the beetle, "how slowly you crawl along. You'll never get anywhere in this world. Just look at me and see how fast I can run." The big gray rat ran to the end of the wall, wheeled around, and came back to the place where the little beetle was slowly crawling along at a tiny distance from where the rat had left her. "Don't you wish you could run like this?" said the big gray rat to the little brown beetle. "You are surely a fast runner," replied the little brown beetle. Politely, her mother had taught her always to be polite, and had often said to her, "In a really polite beetle never boasts about her own accomplishments." The little brown beetle never boasted a single boast about all the things she could do. She just went along slowly, crawling along the wall. A bright green and gold parrot in the mango tree over the wall heard this conversation. "How would you like to race with the beetle?" he asked the big gray rat. "I live next door to the tailor bird," he added. "And just to make the race exciting, I'll offer you a brightly colored coat as a prize to the one who wins the race. You may choose for it any color you like, and I'll have it made to order." "I'd like a yellow coat with stripes like the tiger's," said the big gray rat, looking over his shoulder at the gray, gaunt sides as if he were already admiring his new coat. "I'd like a beautiful, brightly colored new coat too," said the little brown beetle. The big gray rat laughed long and hard and loud until his gaunt gray sides were shaking. "Why, you just talk as if you thought you had a chance to win this race," he said when he could speak. The bright green and gold parrot set the royal palm tree at the top of the cliff as the goal of the race. He gave the signal to start and then flew away to the royal palm tree to watch for the end of the race. The big gray rat ran as fast as he could. Then he thought how very tired he was getting. "What's the use of hurrying?" he said to himself. "The little brown beetle cannot possibly win. If I were racing somebody who could really run, it would be very different." Then he started to run more slowly. But every time his heart beat, it said, "Hurry up, hurry up." The big gray rat decided that it was best to obey his little voice in his heart, so he hurried just as fast as he could. When he reached the royal palm tree at the top of the cliff, he could hardly believe his eyes. He thought he must be having a bad dream. There was a little brown beetle sitting quietly beside the bright green and gold parrot. The big gray rat had never been so surprised in all his life. "How did you ever manage to run fast enough to get here so soon?" he asked the little brown beetle as soon as he could catch his breath. The little brown beetle drew out his tiny wings, her tiny wings from her sides. "Nobody said anything about having to run to win this race," she replied, "so I flew instead." "I did not know you could fly," said the big gray rat, in a subdued little voice. "After this," said the bright green and gold parrot, "never judge anyone by looks alone. You can never tell how often or where you might find concealed wings. You have lost the prize." Then the parrot turned to the little brown beetle who was quietly waiting at his side. "What color do you want your new coat to be?" he asked. The little brown beetle looked up at the bright green and gold parrot and the green and gold palm trees above their heads and the green mangoes and golden flushes on their cheeks lying on the ground under the mango trees and at the golden sunshine in the distant green hills. "I choose a coat of green and gold," she said. And from that day to this day, the Brazilian beetle has worn a coat of green with golden lights upon it. And until this day, even in Brazil, where the flowers and birds and beasts and insects have such gorgeous coloring, the rat wears a dull gray coat. So how does this story speak to me? Well, I spoke to you a bit earlier about your journey through high school, which I hope is a path you can avoid rushing down as quickly as you can, like the rat did. Like the beetle, find a path that works for you, that is unique. Find your wings and fly if you have to, but chart your own path. Over these 4 years, you'll be painting your wings all sorts of colors as you develop your knowledge and skills and avail yourself to new experiences. And you're doing this together with your classmates, your teachers, and your parents. And unlike the story you just heard, there's no need to win the race. A few years ago, a documentary about high schools went viral. It was called A Race to Nowhere. It chronicled students hoping for perfect grades while chasing the perfect transcript in order to get them into a name-brand university, thinking that this was the formula to success in life. This is commonly referred to as doing school, rather than engaging in the learning that is on offer. It was a recipe for not only unhappiness and stress, but for being completely unprepared to thrive and contribute in a rapidly changing world. So at ASD, we have this special opportunity to learn and grow in a fantastic school community and in the vibrant city of Dubai. And we'll be here for Expo 2020, inshallah. What a great opportunity. So in my life, I've spent the majority of my time in schools, as a student, as a teacher, and now as an administrator. And not all school communities are alike. Most schools will have core values. Many will speak to them publicly, but only a few actually live by their core values. They walk the talk. And I believe that the American School of Dubai falls into this group of schools. Are we perfect? No way. Do we always live by our core values of respect, responsibility, integrity, compassion, and excellence? The answer to this is also no. Yet we almost always recognize when we fall short, and we try every day to do better and do right by our community. Again, effort. Effort is what matters. So the American School of Dubai cares. It cares about me, it cares about you, it cares about us. For this, I have tremendous gratitude, and that is why the Richards family chose to come here. ASD cares that you have a personalized and relevant high school experience. In fact, this is your high school experience, not mine and not your parents'. Therefore, I implore you to take ownership over your journey through the curriculum, through the programs. Personalize it. Make it relevant to your dreams. Find your voice. Use ASD as a springboard for what's next, and take the time to enjoy it. You may be 100 days into high school, but in 1,000 days, you will be back here starting your senior year. Time goes quickly, so let's not rush through it. Enjoy the evening, enjoy the long weekend, enjoy the winter break. You've earned it. Thank you. So, thank you. Thank you. And originally I was intended to introduce Dr. Lever, but Dr. Lever unfortunately couldn't be here. He's come down sick. Dr. Lever, who was very instrumental with Mr. Braun in getting all these inspired trips out, he also met every single trip as they came back to the airport. So as you may have seen, and the Richards house was hit with a cold going around. He was exposed to all the germs that came back on the trip. So unfortunately, he couldn't be here tonight. He passes along his regrets. But we have a nice full program today, so I'm going to turn it back over to our very capable students.
Thank you, Dr. Richards. I know our whole class is excited to be in high school, and we are really happy to have your guidance throughout our journey.
Hey Armand, I agree that we should be happy, but don't you think that this year we've been dwarfed to become the smallest high schooler on the block, running around quadratics, debating politics, and getting sick on mathematics? Those days of middle school are becoming more and more like a distant memory, like the logarithm you had to study for the test you did just 2 days ago.
You're right, but we can't forget the amazing middle school teachers we had. We have a few middle school teachers here tonight to share with us a few memories of the class of 2021.
Parents in class of 2021, prepare your applause and please give it up for the forever loved, missed but not forgotten middle school teachers, Mr. Darash and Mr. Hallberg.
Let's go. Woo! Hey. How you doing, Mark?
Good, how you doing?
Nice to see you,
Good to
man.
see you too.
Yeah. What's up?
Can't wait for winter break, I'll tell you that.
Oh, man, I'm ready for a holiday. So, yeah. Want to warm up before the other guys come?
Sure.
Yeah, let's do something here. Woo! Hey, what's this I hear about you having to give a speech or something at the 100 Days In for the freshmen? What's that about?
No clue. Never heard of 100 Days In before in my life, and when I was in high school, we didn't have anything like that, but you're a lot older than me, so maybe you could help.
Who you calling old?
Well, maybe not old, but you're married, you have children, so experience is probably a better word.
Thank you. Yeah, well, you know, actually I am old. In fact, I was thinking about it. If Rebecca and I had had kids right away, you could be my son, and that's really scary. But okay, seriously. Now, what are you gonna tell these guys? Seriously, like, you're a PE teacher.
Yeah, I mean, I can't think of anything that they hadn't heard from me last year that they would want to hear from me again this year.
Well, you want some advice for an old man?
Go ahead.
Okay. Well, let me see. If it were me, what would I tell these guys? How about relationships? Let's talk about relationships.
Yeah. I mean, I like that because, you know, my freshman year, I still keep in contact with my friends from Islamabad, Pakistan.
Really?
Yeah, I like that.
You had friends in high school?
Yeah.
Cool.
I had friends.
So, relationships. You know what I tell them? I say, listen, surround yourself with positive friends. People are going to build you up. Like, there's so much stuff in this world that's going to drag you down and just be depressing, man. So, build you up. Surround yourself with positive people. And be a positive person yourself.
Yeah, I like that. Is there anything else you would tell them?
Well, you know, as the old father, I think I want to talk to the guys about girls.
Ah, that's a good one too. I guess, you know, with your athletic ability, being a good basketball player, and, you know, you can get on that guitar a little bit, you probably had no problem getting the attention of girls in high school.
Yeah, I didn't have a problem getting their attention, but that was the problem. Because I didn't know how to be their friend. I wasn't a good friend. So, like, I don't know. You know, if I just had a chance to talk to them, you know what I'd say? It's really simple. You know, guys, before you have a girlfriend, learn how to be a girl's friend.
I like that. Wait. So, before you have a girlfriend, learn to be a girl's friend. Wait a minute. Maybe that's why I'm still single.
Listen, everybody knows you're still single because you're ugly and untalented. Don't be calling me old, all right? So, but, you know, it's the same thing for girls. Like I'd be saying to the girls, before you have a boyfriend, make sure that boy is your friend.
Yeah, that's good. I like that.
What else are you going to tell them?
Well, I was thinking something more traditional, like academics is your foundation for success, and you need to be present on today so you can focus on your future for tomorrow, or something more traditional like that. But then again, my 9th grade year, I was not a very good student.
Oh man, I hear you. I spent so much time playing sports and music and stuff. I was so bad, I thought To Kill a Mockingbird was a guidebook for hunters.
Oh my. I thought Charles Dickens was the running back for the Los Angeles Rams.
You're kidding me. We were so bad. You know, and I wasn't a good reader in high school. I didn't take it seriously. And then when I got to university, I really struggled. It was so tough. And so, I married a reader, and then I learned to love books, but it was late. I wish I'd started in grade 9. I really did. But I don't know. I did learn a secret.
What's that?
If you make books your friend, you're never, ever really alone.
I like that. Maybe I could use that. And you know what? There's something else I would probably tell them.
Okay, what are you going to say?
I would probably tell them to focus on things they can control, like their effort and their attitude and using time well. And with college applications and GPA and parental pressures and social situations, I would also tell them, have a lot of self-confidence. Believe in yourself for exactly who you are.
All right.
And make sure you're kind to other people, respect people.
I hear you.
And probably most of all, enjoy your journey through high school because it goes by quickly.
Whoa, yeah. Seems like yesterday. Well, I don't know about you, but I think you got yourself a speech.
I guess I do. Well, thanks for your help, old man.
No problem, kid. Oh, but hey, do you think they're really going to listen?
They never did before. I don't know why they would now.
Oh, hey, there's Ruiz. Let's go play ball.
Thank you, Mr. Roche and Mr. Hallberg. You did come to save us from high school. Please say yes.
I'm pretty sure we can agree that being in high school is great, but I'm not sure everyone knows just how much talent our high school has.
One thing that's really cool about high school is the fact that middle school teachers make us believe they still care about us even after we've left their classes.
Yes, that's a great thing about being in high school. And tonight, we are pleased to have some fellow high school students that have a talent of their own to share.
Please give a warm welcome to Sophia Remrem and Anya Singh as they prepare to take you on an inspiring journey.
I was a nurse at the front. For a time I looked after a hut of soldiers from the other side. As you were speaking, I was remembering one of them. I held his hand as he was dying. He cried out for a woman he loved. He faced the end of his life by asking her forgiveness. I lost a brother in the war. And my fiancé. I can't make sense of it either, except when I held the hand of that soldier, it was their hands too that I was holding. Their pain was the same pain, their blood, the same blood. Our grief is the grief of hundreds and thousands of women and men in the country we're fighting. stand here and ask you, is it? Is that right? Can I accept the courage to admit there might be another way? Perhaps their deaths have meaning only if we stand together now and say no. No to killing. No to war. No to the endless cycle of revenge. I say no more of it. No more. If you've ever taken an acting class, you might be familiar with a little something called improvisation. Now, there are very few rules to improv, but one thing that you learn early on is that you are not the most important person in the scene. Everybody else is. And if everybody else is the most important person, then you will naturally pay attention to them and serve them. But the good news is, you're in the scene too. So hopefully, they will see you as the most important person and serve you. No one is leading. You're following the follower, serving the servant. And you can't win at improv. And life is an improvisation. You don't really know what's going to happen next. And for the most part, you're just making it up as you go along. And just like improv, you can't win at life either. Even when it seems like you're winning, and everyone is serving you, you're serving them just as much, serving a common goal. If you love your friends, then you will serve your friends. If you love your community, then you will serve your community. If you love money, then you will serve your money. And if you love only yourself, then you will serve only yourself. And you will have only yourself. So no more winning. Instead, try and find others to love and to serve. And maybe you will find others who will love and serve you in return.
Good evening. That was really wonderful. My name is Julia Martinez, and I'm the Director of Advancement, and I have the privilege of working with many of our alumni of the American School Dubai. And it's always a pleasure to meet new alumni living in Dubai, living around the world, and learning of the impact of our school and the importance of our school over time. So this evening, I have the privilege of introducing our alumni speaker, Ms. Razan Badri. Razambadri was born in the United States, but was raised in many different countries around the world, from Dubai to Egypt to Saudi Arabia to Syria to China to Indonesia. She attended the American School Dubai in high school and graduated in 2002. After high school, she went on to the American University in Dubai and received her bachelor's in marketing. In her graduation, she was awarded the President's Award for Student Excellence. She began her career with Procter & Gamble as a consumer market knowledge associate in Dubai, moved on as a product manager for Beiersdorf Nivea, and decided to move to Syria, where she worked for a group as a brand manager. She later worked with a leading advertising agency in Syria and worked as a senior account executive, handling multinational companies like Nestle. After spending 7 years in marketing and advertising, she decided to move into the field of teaching and found her true passion. She joined the International School of Sharifat in Syria and moved to Saudi Arabia and worked for an international school in Cambridge curriculum. In 2012, she became a certified TESOL and TEFL instructor and moved to Dubai. She started teaching English and within a few months joined the American International School in Dubai as head of business development. She was responsible for developing business curriculums for 3 grade levels and taking a significant part of the KHDA evaluation. In 2014, she founded her own company called Leave a Mark Today and became a full-time corporate trainer. She also received her master's degree in legal studies from Northway University and was a presidential scholar. Since 2014, she has trained junior, senior, mid-level management from over 50 nationalities who work in the hospitality, legal, oil and gas companies, as well as governmental sectors such as the Dubai Police. One thing I've learned about Razan today is that she's very flexible and has a lot of tenacity, because we planned these events months in advance, and I learned this morning that our original alumni speaker was very ill and could not be here. So Razan has taken the challenge of joining us this evening and sharing her passion and impact of ASD with us, which was really, really special. So I know that about her already. Razan is married and the mother of a little 1-year-old daughter. Please join me in welcoming Razan, class of 2002.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. I'm glad you all could join us today. I know that for many of you, today marks your first 100 days of high school, and for the others, it's the beginning of the hard journey of motivating and dedicating your time to build the bridge of success to university and the future of your children. This is a critical time for the both of you. It's normal to be nervous, but excited, ambitious, but wise in every decision you make. When I entered high school, my parents used to always tell me to work hard from the beginning to ensure a high GPA from the time I graduated. Of course, being the rebel that I am, I didn't listen much. As a result, that led to an average GPA in the perspective of my father, and also led to a more difficult university experience. However, ASD taught me to own my own mistakes and move forward to ensure success. And that's what was reflected in university. In my high school journey, my parents weren't my only influencers, but my teachers, ASD faculty, and the ASD staff were an even stronger influencer for me. They all made sure I would succeed, not only in high school, but in life. Even though I didn't graduate the top of my class, I graduated as a leader and a fighter. ASD taught me that. From Monsieur Lemire, my French teacher, to Mr. and Mrs. Peterson, English and math, from Mr. Elisa, PE, and Mrs. Von Spreeken, my choir teacher. I remember when I was in 12th grade, it was the time of year where you had to apply for honor choir and see if you would get chosen to represent your school or not. It was a nervous time for me, but I had a tough teacher that believed in my capabilities as a singer. I recall Mrs. Von Spreeken telling me that I need to apply, and I remember telling her that I didn't want to because I had failed the year before. Her response was, "That was last year, honey. This year you'll make it. We will practice more and ensure you make it through." And yes, I did succeed, and I went off to honor choir with ASD and got to sing with the most experienced vocalists and the coolest people from all the other American and international schools. As a result, Mrs. Von Spreeken empowered me and said, "You will choose your graduation song, and I want you to be the soloist." For my graduation, I chose the song "When You Believe" by Whitney Houston and Mariah Carey. That song still gives me goosebumps today. That song says, "There can be miracles when you believe." Because I believed, miracles happened. From a personal level, I married the love of my life, and today I'm a mother of a 1-year-old baby girl, Sarah. From a professional level, I graduated from ASD as a well-rounded individual that could lead a group, a team, and today my own company, Leave a Mark Today. ASD built a strong and solid ladder for me to climb up something called life. I have been able to achieve things that I would have never thought I would achieve. The only advice that I want to give you that my parents gave me was, Make sure you always work hard from the beginning so you make sure that whatever comes in your future will be easier to handle. So, all the freshmen out here, please work hard, because high school shapes the way to the university you're gonna get accepted into, and eventually the job that you will acquire. All you have to do is believe in yourself, and miracles will happen. Thank you.
Wow, my parents weren't even married when Miss Badri graduated in 2002.
Thank you, Miss Badri. It's so great to see a falcon that has spread her wings and gone out into a rapidly changing world.
Now, we've heard from alumni, teachers, as well as superintendents and principals, but we haven't heard from any students yet. I mean, it's about time we had some adequate student representation on the stage.
We would now like to welcome our very own student government president, Zach Genio, a senior from the class of 2018.
I sat with Zach late last year, and he explained to us the SGA and how much this body is based on mutual trust between its members. Like in the Robert De Niro movie, Meet the Parents, where he famously states, "I'm watching you, now that you're in the circle of trust." Well, I hope, Zach, that we have not left your circle of trust.
Mr. President, you have the stage.
Awesome. Hello, class of 2021. Welcome to the 100 Days In. I know you guys have heard it about a dozen times this evening, but I'm going to say it again. I know that this emoji's going to be on Instagram a lot tonight, and that's okay. I think that's awesome. You guys made it through the transition from middle school. No one died. Woo! That's something to celebrate. So I'm Zach, like Armand and Bachara very kindly introduced me. And I'm the SGA president this year. And I was asked to kind of bestow some sort of wisdom for you guys as a peer and as a senior. But the thing is, I know you all are probably gonna end up ignoring my advice. Not on purpose though, you're just probably gonna forget it. If not tomorrow, maybe in like a week or so. It's like throwing something at the wall and nothing's really gonna stick. But I can still give you guys some prevention strategies here and there, like brushing your teeth or flossing, to prevent cavities. So throughout my high school experience, I kept a blog, a personal blog, nothing crazy. And every day I would write a small sentence reflecting upon what I learned that day. And so in anticipation for this speech, I decided to go back through all the posts that I had written and share out some of the best nuggets of information and wisdom that I learned through my failures, and that you all will most likely learn through your failures as well. So without further ado, I'd like to present to you guys some of my Zach-inspired posts. So, on September 19th, 2016, in junior year on day 343 of high school, I learned that cramming the night before actually isn't that bad, and that I was so prepared for the test the next day. And then, on September 20th, day 344, I learned that cramming the night before does not, in fact, work, and I was not prepared for that test. Let me say it flat out for you guys, you can't study the night before. I know you think you can, and you believe it in your heart, and you think it'll stay with you. It won't. Straight up. You gotta stretch out your studying. And if you don't learn it now, you'll learn it like me in junior year. Then I learned on day 89 of my freshman year that sleep is not for the weak. Obviously, I had been lacking a bit of sleep. I used the wrong week. The right week was W-E-A-K. Never been that great at spelling. But I can't emphasize this enough as well. You really have to get your sleep. That's one of the most important things. It's going to be your knight in shining armor, especially when you start growing and growing into the higher years. It's the only thing that's going to keep you sane, and I'm not lying. Sometimes you just got to shut your laptop screen and go to bed. A project, test, or homework, it's not worth the all-nighter. Trust me, your body will genuinely thank you. Then on day 102 of freshman year, your parents are always right. And I told myself to remember that. And I just saw about a dozen pairs of parents just nudge their kids. Look at that, yeah. Our parents, they're our biggest critics sometimes, but they're always our biggest fans as well. They love us, and everything they say is always to better us, and although sometimes I hate to admit it, they're always right. And I know my mom's gonna see this, and then she's gonna rub it in my face, but parents, they know a thing or two about high school. They have gone through it themselves. Now this one's a key one. I think this one deserves a bit of time. Catching up on TV is honestly a 9th class. It's so much time and effort. Because once you fall behind on your TV show, then you have to catch up on it. And so what started as like a 1 hour, maybe 2 hour endeavor has become a 5 hour endeavor on your Fridays. And then boom, you just can't study for math anymore. So, the best piece of advice that I'll probably give you all tonight is this. When watching TV shows, do not, under any circumstances, start a TV show that has multiple seasons already released. No, don't do it. Don't start Game of Thrones now. Don't start The Office. Don't do it. Wait until a long break, like winter break or spring break or summer break. But if you want to watch TV, like me, I have to have something to watch. You know, just something to relax, unwind, those little luxuries in life. Watch a show that's coming out every week. So like a new episode's released, and then on the weekends, you still get to watch TV, but it's only like 1 hour. But like I said, watching TV is a 9th class, so you have to keep up with it, or else then you have to spend lots of time catching up and rewatching episodes to get caught up. So then, probably the most important thing I ever learned in high school, honestly, I learned in freshman year that a squared plus b squared equals c squared, and the mitochondria is the powerhouse in the cell. I'm in an AP math and an AP science, and I genuinely still use both of these all the time. That, and that you have to have fun in high school. High school is just an awesome experience, and ASD's got so many opportunities for you guys to just dive right in and have the time of your life. My dad has this one quote that he always says. It's create your own happiness. And although we would always make fun of him and make fun of the quote, it was really good. Just to get out there and make the experience that you want to have. That's the key to your happiness in high school. And time's gonna fly by, so you really need to live in the moment and make the most of it. I remember sitting here in the audience 3 years ago, 417 school days ago, and now, look, I'm here. Take pictures, keep a journal, write on a blog, do something. Try to savor the moment and try to keep the memories that are gonna last a lifetime. Because trust me, guys, time is just gonna fly by. Thank you.
Thank you, Zach, for your inspiration.
Well, it has been a wonderful evening, and we're so glad that the whole class of 2021 is here to celebrate together.
You have all made our 100 days of high school extremely memorable. And now, it's time for some instructions.
So I've been told to make myself extra slow and very clear at this moment. At the end of this show, we would like to ask everyone, and we mean everyone, even those outside of the circle of trust, to make their way to the reception in the foyer. And remember, we're watching you.
Students, once you enjoy some food, fun, and photos in the foyer, you need to listen for the gong. When you hear the gong, students, please proceed outside for the candle floating ceremony. You will also have time to get your candle and meet up with your advisor and advisory class by the fountain.
And parents, we would appreciate if you follow shortly after in an organized fashion.
And we will finish with the floating candles.
Everybody should feel free to take additional photos, making their kids feel very special, and continue with conversations after the candles. Thank you for everyone for being part of our circle of trust. After this event, you may take your floating candles home as a memento of this evening, of course, as long as you're covered by fire insurance.
These 100 days have been a wonderful start to a great high school experience. See you in the foyer for refreshments, photos, and after this, the candle lighting.
We're not finished yet, Armand. Over the past week, several students have put together a short video featuring a series of interviews of how they think high school has been so far.
Now, thanks to the many talents of the class of 2021, we have a visual representation of the highlights of the first 100 days of high school for us.
But first, we need to celebrate with a streak photo. Armand, can I get your phone?
This isn't the time for Snapchat. We have a show to put on.
Yeah, let's do it anyways. Oh, he doesn't have his phone. So in improv class, they told me to... Oh, okay. Thank you. This is Apple. Oh, there we go. Okay, I think we're good. Thank you all for being a great audience. We hope you enjoy the rest of the evening.
One thing that I miss from middle school is basically like the hand-holding that the teachers gave us and the structure of the school, but one thing that I really enjoy about high school is the freedom and sort of getting to have your phone and like...
So what I miss about middle school is probably the fact that tests are easier and there was a lot less homework.
I guess the thing that I miss most about middle school is probably friends that have moved away. I guess my favorite thing about high school would be getting to choose all my different classes. And
I like having more freedom.
I miss middle school because it was easy, and one thing I like about high school is the freedom, like phoning class.
High school is great. I don't miss anything in middle school, and my favorite thing about high school is there's more freedom.
I miss everything about middle school and I like nothing about high school.
I miss the lesser workload in middle school because in high school there's a lot more work to do, and yeah.
Something I really miss about middle school is how much simpler things were, and something I really like about high school is that there's a lot more freedom.
I miss the teachers most about middle school and I enjoy the new experiences of high school.